Thank you for viewing this video on leadership training. This church leadership training is the third year of training. It's level 3 or 301 in the series, and it assumes previous completion of the philosophy of biblical leadership about calling, character, and mentoring, and becoming an expert in our area of servant leadership. That's 101, if you will, and vision statements, mission statements, and SMART goals of 201, if you will. You need to review calling, character, mentoring, and mastery, the first year of leadership training for ministry and church leaders, 101, if you will. In that year of training, we have looked at the umbrella topic of a philosophy of biblical leadership involving Jesus and servant leadership, our character and calling, and the 7 qualities of biblical leadership. Jesus is our example, and the Bible is our leadership manual. Jesus' model for leadership is as a servant, someone who came to serve, not to be served. And we took that time to define biblical leadership, therefore. The definition's important, right, my friends? Biblical leadership is 3 things. Biblical leadership is serving others. Second, from a place of selflessness and sacrifice. And third, that points to God. Biblical leadership is serving others from a place of selflessness and sacrifice that points to God. A servant leader must have godly character as seen in the 7 qualities, and we looked at each one, the 7 qualities. Remember, love, humility, development, motivation, correction, integrity, God's will. The 7 qualities are not, they're not an exhaustive list, nowhere near a full list, but they are the beginning of the qualities of a biblical leader, a servant leader, a church leader. It's a place to start. We need to review the second year of leadership training because this year's training builds on all of this. So we need to review the impact of vision, mission, and goals, the year 2 of leadership training for ministry and church leaders. Think of it as a class 201. The second level of church leadership training was more practical on the organizational and decision making at the various levels of church and ministry. Year 1 was about the individual servant leader. Year 2 was more about the organizational. So we focused on vision statements, mission statements, and SMART goals for the church body and each ministry area. And that started with definitions, defining them, vision statements. For me, the clearest way to remember the definition of a vision statement is that it defines the long-term destination. In other words, where are we going? What does our destination look like in 10 or 20 years? Long-term goal. The mission statement, well, for me, the clearest way to remember the definition of a mission statement is that it defines the route and roads to the long-term destination. In other words, what pathways are we going to take to get to the destination of the vision statement? So the mission statement and the vision statement work together, but they are not the same thing, and we confuse them all the time, don't we? Right? It's like, how are we getting there? What direction and route are we traveling? Then it was goals. And not just goals, but SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T. It's an acronym. Each letter representing something. S-M-A-R-T is a well-established tool that you can use to plan and achieve goals. While there are several interpretations of that acronym, the most common one is that goals should be, S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for relevant, and T is for time bound. Specific goals answer what we will accomplish and what actions will we take. With a clear vision statement, destination, mission statement, pathways, and SMART goals, servant leaders can confidently act in planning, calendaring, budgeting, recruiting, doing activities and events, and evaluating those. Now we know what to do and why we are doing it as we get busy serving the Lord. So this year, the third year of leadership training, 301 as it were, is about problem solving. Leadership often involves dealing with issues, problems, and obstacles, some minor, some major, some good, some bad. While problem-solving skills increase and grow with expertise, the most effective training method are begin with understanding a few wide principles. And so we will talk about 4 foundational principles, big ideas, such as you're not alone. God equips and empowers us to handle problems. So we're not dealing with problems in our own strength and our own skill. God's with us. The second foundational principle, umbrella principle, is good problems. And by that I mean not all identifiable problems should be solved. Just because it's a problem doesn't mean you need to solve it. Some problems are hidden solutions to bigger issues, mysteries, and should be managed instead of fixed. Some problems are good and we shouldn't try to solve them. We should instead manage those problems. And that's a hard one for people who are gifted in problem solving because they always want to solve everything. The third foundational principle, big idea, umbrella idea, is a biblical approach. Problems must be dealt with based on the commands and instructions of God's inspired word, not upon our natural and sinful desires and feelings. Let's be biblical. And then fourth, as far as foundational principles, umbrella ideas, listen, my friends, problems are normal. Problems are normal in ministry and service. So if you're going to be a servant leader, you've got to avoid the instinct to run from problems because it's just normal. It's everywhere. We will look into each one of these in detail later. While problem-solving skills increase and grow with expertise, effective training methods is about understanding those 4 foundational principles and also applying key steps toward comprehensive solutions. 6 key steps, 6 actions for problem solving. And we will look into these in detail throughout this year. But the 6 actions for problem solving is first, commit it to God. Pray and wait before rushing in. Second action is to identify the true problem. This involves prayer, investigation, waiting, and avoid rushing into judgment. This involves investigation, asking questions, seeking the solutions, identifying the problem from every possible idea so that we identify the actual problem. Action number 3, consider deeper issues and all the biblical solutions. We need to face the situation honestly and avoid lies to manipulate. Action number 4, address the issue in the smallest and most private manner. Aim to handle the problem in the most private way with the smallest amount of people, ideally one-on-one. Action number 5, consider the impact and consequences. Speak the truth in love, avoid hiding or covering up wrongs, confess your wrong, assume personal responsibility, avoid shifting blame to others, and also think through and consider the ripple effect of your solution on people, on the organization, on your ministry, on it all. And then action number 6, post-evaluation, post-impact. Evaluate the process, the impact, the results in prayer and counsel to improve and grow as a servant leader. So applying these steps, these actions, will lead you toward a comprehensive solution. And of course, we're going to, through the training process, experiment with these through fictional situations, case studies. Even though each session will be shorter than previous training levels, more time must be invested into each episode for problem solving. Total integrating of the principles, Bible passages, prayer, and actions will empower each servant leader to navigate the rough waters of leading people in this sinful world. Each servant leader will receive from this training as much as they put into it. It's worth the investment of our time, attention, and exercise, my friends. Thank you for watching this video.